The sixth contention I'd like to talk about is the research itself, right? What I do and what my colleagues do. You'll find that if you're going out and you're looking for the research, so teachers will say to me, oh, but the research says, and I go, how old was that research? And they go, oh, well, it was 1990, whatever it was. And I go, okay, that's fine. But what you have to understand is research that's done then was seeing STEM in a particular way. You know how I showed you how STEM has evolved over time? So the old research is done when STEM is conceived in a particular way. So you need to be just a little bit careful of that. And there's lots of STEM, there's lots of research in STEM education, around STEM as, science, technology, engineering and mathematics education. There's lots of research with it as science, technology and mathematics with very little around engineering. But when we look at that, the way it is now, where engineering is the focus, there's not much research because it's new. So you wouldn't expect. So it's still in its early days. Some of the things I have read some stuff that's come out, but it's one study says this, one study says that, so it's unreliable, really. So just be a little bit guarded. Be critical in going through that kind of research and what you're accessing. And here's another lot of things to think about. I'll just throw these questions out to you. Who are the researchers? The first thing, and I do this is what I do. I read, something comes out and it goes, oh, such and such says. So the first thing I do is Google the person. And what I usually find is, what I have been finding recently, is that a lot of them have no background in science, technology, engineering or mathematics, education, literature, research. They're way out of there. And I kind of go, well, what is their basis and what is their background and what do they know about this area? So I become really critical. What's the context of the research? Because the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia are really different. So much of our stuff, we go to the US. The US are having trouble with getting teachers. They are hemorrhaging teachers over there. So they're doing all kinds of things to keep the teaching profession there. We don't have that issue in Australia, apart from in high-level mathematics and physics. They're the two areas that we struggle, and we have struggled for a long time. So if you're a physics teacher and you're a high-end mathematics teacher, you are gold in Australia. In America, it's very different. So the context really matters, and how they see STEM and how they're using STEM is different to where we are in Australia. So how is STEM construed? It varies across the world, globally. What's the evidence that they're using? What's the focus of the research? Is it education? Is it about our students? Is it about our teachers? And is it about schools and childcare centres? Or is it about universities? Because if it's about universities, how relevant is it necessarily to schools? You have to be careful. Is it in line with quality learning and teaching, which is our focus in Australia? I think Australia is doing very, very well in our teaching space, and that's why our students leave universities and can get jobs overseas, is because the teaching profession here is well respected. Okay, so this is a warning. Just be really vigilant, because there are lots of people playing in this space who have no credibility and who have no background. So just be wary about who's telling you about what you should be doing. And remember that you're in the best position. Go with your gut, that old gut feeling.